Lizzie Yayo.
Try to tend to always do.
It's your girl Lizzie Yayo, forever keeping it a bando.
Keepin It A Bando with Hype Magazine and Oak 93.5.
Hey you guys, it's Lizzie Yayo.
Hey, you ought to know your CJ Long is time to ride. And I'm gonna keep it a bando with Lizzie Yayo.
All right, guys. Yes, again, it's your girl, Lizzie Yayo. And I am super excited to have Lee Hammock. He will be coming into the building. He's actually on his way. And we are going to talk about narcissism. He is a clinically diagnosed narcissist, and he helps people who are dealing with narcissism and people that are dealing with narcissistic people. There might be a specific term. I'm not sure. He's going to let us know because he is the pro when it comes down to analyzing what is what. So if y'all have any questions, feel free to contact us here at Oak 93.5 at 919-899-9305. Again, I'm going to give you all the number. It is 919-899-9305. Hey, y'all. It's your girl, Lizzie Yayo, forever keeping it a bando here at Oak 93.5. And I have Lee Hammock in the building. Hey, Lee.
What's going on? How you doing?
Oh, hold on. Talk to me one more time.
So what's going on? How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing all right. So, first I wanted to say, ironically, that song that just played was one of the songs that helped me to get through my situation that I assume may have been a narcissistic relationship. But, of course, through our interview, we're going to see if it was really one of those or just something that I found out or figured on upon myself. So, Mr. Hammond, do you mind telling the world who you are?
So my name is Lee Hammock. I have been clinically diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder for about 7 years now. And I've been in psychotherapy for it, dealing with it, the traits, the symptoms, trying to maintain a semblance of a normal, healthy life and whatnot. About 4 years ago, in May of 2020, during the pandemic, I got serious about my therapy journey, and I started my platform talking about narcissistic personality disorder, living with it, and why I did the things that I did. And from that point forward, on May 19th of 2020, it just kind of blew up to where it is right now, where I've got to travel the world, talking to, do TV shows, do radio shows like this one right now, sharing my journey, helping other people, like helping millions of people across the world understand what they went through, and helping other people who might feel the same way that I feel about myself internally, having mental health struggles and things like that, understand that it's okay to go get help, understand that it's okay to go to therapy and, put that work in, and, it's worth it to live a better life and whatnot.
I love that. So, what made you even want to go and find out, like, what could have been wrong with you?
So since I was about 7 or 8 years old, I've always kind of felt out of place. Like, seriously, like, I feel like, I'm writing a book right now, but, chapter 1 is like when I woke up on my 8th birthday and like the world was new. It's kind of like being born at 8 years old and knowing everybody around you except for you. Like, I didn't know who I was. It's kind of like I knew everybody around me. My brother, my mama, my aunt, my cousins, everybody except for me. I'm like, who am I though? I'm just wandering around like that. From the time I was 8 years old, going through life, just feeling out of place, feeling like an alien, so to speak. Just kind of feeling like my emotions didn't click the way other people's emotions click. I just knew I was different. But, society nowadays teaches us that we're supposed to be different. Everybody's special in your own way. So maybe I'm just special,
Mm-hmm.
So feeling special throughout my entire life, as I grew up and started dating and getting in relationships in my, early 20s, like late teens, early 20s and whatnot. All my relationships started ending the same exact way. Like, I would feel like I was madly in love with somebody. And then, like, one day I would wake up and I would look at the person and it was like I didn't know them. I would start questioning why I was with this person. Like, I would start questioning who this person was. Like, could I do better? Like, am I stuck here? Like, I had this, this fear of missing out, so I always started to push the person away. But as I got older, I was just like, I'm gonna be alone. I was, but in my 20s, so it wasn't super old.
Right.
But as I started getting older and all my relationships started ending the same way, I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna get serious about my relationship. I'm gonna get serious about dating and whatever. So, eventually I ended up getting married, having another child, and it got to the point where one night I was, how was I? This is in 2017, so I was 32. I was 32. And my wife had came home one night. I mean, she had left. She had left me with my 6-7-month-old son, and he was just not stop crying. And I was trying to get some work done, and everything that was going wrong in my life, I started blaming on him. So I'm in the house yelling and screaming. And my wife, I don't know why she came home early, but she came home early. She hears me yelling at my son. She comes into the house. She starts yelling at me. I'm yelling at her. I tell her to get out. And then when she was on the way out the door, she said, it's so hard to live with a damn narcissist. I was like, what? I'm like, you. So this is 2017, so narcissist for me just meant somebody that was cocky or conceited or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm like, you're cocky, you're conceited. It take me 2 minutes to get ready. It takes you hours. You got to put makeup on. You trying to impress everybody. And I was talking junk, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But when she left, I was at home still angry. I was still angry.
Now you're trying to figure out what.
Yeah, I was like, what? I said, why? So why the hell she called me that? Like, she could have called me anything else in the world, but that's too specific. I'm a super analytical person. Mm-hmm. I was like, that's super specific for you to call me that out of anything else you could have called me. Mm-hmm. So I got on Google. I started typing it into Google. I was like, narcissist. You know what I mean? And it's like, did you mean narcissistic personality disorder? Mm-mm. I was like, well, I didn't mean that, but let's take a ride down there. Let's take a ride. I'm home alone now, so let's take a ride. I got it all the time. So I clicked it, and I started reading about the signs and the symptoms and stuff like that, the 9 traits of narcissistic personality disorder. And it all started to make sense of how I was 8 years old, feeling out of place, feeling different my entire life. So from 8 to 32, there's a 24-year gap right there. I'm feeling completely out of place. And this narcissistic personality disorder, the characteristics, the description on Google, made sense to me and explained so much that was going on in my life. And I remember texting my wife. I was like, you know what? You're right. I am a narcissist. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna work on it. Maybe there's a pill I can take. I get on there. Like, what's the fix for narcissism? Is like, there's no cure. That's the first thing that pops up. It says there's no cure. The only treatment is therapy. I was like, being a black man in America, he's like, therapy. Ugh. I guess I'll try that. So I ended up going to therapy in October of 2017. I got diagnosed shortly after that, and then have been living with it, battling with it, and just trying to understand myself more along the lines of, being self-aware of it is different than being unaware. Unaware, you always can blame other people for the stuff that's going on. Right. When you become aware of it, it's like, damn, this on me. Like, this is my fault. So it's kind of like, it feels like your world might be collapsing in on you, but you persevere through it. Like I was telling you earlier, I had been doing, even before I got diagnosed, when I was 32, I had already been doing a lot of personal development of myself when I was working at Blockbuster Video.
Oh, they don't even got that no more.
Yeah, they're gone. I think it's one in Alaska. It might be one in Alaska still fighting to survive. But like I said, when I got diagnosed, I just felt super out of place, and it was just like, this is me. This is what I have to deal with. This is going to be my struggle. So, but I still started going to therapy. Therapy started working for me and whatnot. And I could tell my therapy was working because my relationships got better. My life had gotten better from that point forward. And then the pandemic hit. Like, right before the pandemic hit, my wife had left again. I've been in therapy. I'm like, well, I'm working on myself. Right. Like, what's going on? What did I do wrong this time? You know what I mean? But it was because of me. I had just started becoming disconnected because the world was falling apart. This is pre-COVID. And it's like the world is ending anyway, so what is the point? So I stopped going to therapy, and then my wife ended up leaving like March of 2020, April, maybe March or April. It's kind of foggy now. But I had missed therapy for a few times, and then I remember I came home, my wife, all her stuff was gone. I was like, I did it again. I was like, it's on me. I remember telling my therapist, I ain't seen you about 5-6 months. She's like, what's going on? I was like, well, my wife left me. And then my therapist like, what did you do? I said, me? What what did I do? And she's just like, yeah, you ain't seen me in a long time, and having this specific personality disorder, you have to have check-ins, or you are going to start to falter. You're going to start to waver and go back to your normal, the stuff that's been serving you for 30 years. You're going to go back to doing that. So you have to have these check-ins. When you stop, you're going to revert back. So, people can't stand to be around there for a long time. So, yeah, it makes sense that you left. So I made a commitment from that point forward to keep going to therapy. And so in May of 2020, I was like, let me just talk to the world about this, because holding it in doesn't help. And that's when I started my platform, and from that point forward, it just kind of just went crazy from there.
So one of the questions that I have is, who sits back and try to find out, like, of course, when women or men are in relationships, they try to figure out, well, what could be the reason why I'm going through what I'm going through with this individual. But for her to be like spot on like that, I want to, because I know I was looking. I was sitting up there Googling and trying to figure out, like, what is this? And I mean, isn't there so many different types of personality disorders that could fall in line with narcissism?
Yeah, there's a lot of different personality types and disorders that fall in line with narcissism. So I wondered that exact same thing. I'm like, how do you know exactly what's going on? Because this hasn't been brought up in like general conversation throughout the day. And just like I said, I was curious. Like you specifically used that word to describe me.
Did you ever ask her like?
No,
so
I found that out recently, and I was just like, not recently. This is a few years ago.
Okay.
Her aunt had dealt with something like that before. Like her mom had passed away like years ago, so her mom has been. I never met a mom, but her aunt had a very toxic ex-husband situation and whatnot, and she was like, he sounds just like my ex. And my ex I'm pretty sure is this. And her aunt started sharing this type of stuff with her and that information with her. And she's like, oh, yeah, this is him. And that's where it came from. Like her aunt had.
Somebody had to go through it to be able to just toss that big old word around. Because I know.
And this is 2017 before it even blew up like that. So it's just like, 2024, you hear it everywhere. People think it's overused. 2017, you rarely ever heard it. You might hear it in passing, but you didn't hear it like narcissist. You didn't hear it everywhere. Like I said, her aunt told her about it, and then I've talked to her aunt since then. I heard her story, and
it's similar.
Oh no, it ain't.
Oh, it's a little bit worse.
Oh yeah, it's way. He got some darkness in his heart. He was evil. I would consider it evil, but he had some darkness in his heart. I was like, wait, y'all compare me to him?
Well, okay, I have to know. Like, give me at least one example
of what he did.
Like, what would be considered evil, so I can see
for what he did. So to me, it's evil. Like, speaking in vague generalities. Let's just say,
what's good? This your boy OG Hood Rich, man. Keeping it a bando with Lizzie Yayo. I done work with 21 Savage, Hood Rich Pablo, PB Longway, Young Thug, Bankroll Fresh, the Force MDs. I can take it all the way back to 1970, all the way up to today's artists and everything today. Winners will get cash, distribution, even to sit down with me. You feel me? See where you at, where your credentials and that, to see if you even want to get paid. It's your boy OG Hood Rich, and I'm kicking it with your girl Lizzie Yayo in the band.
Want to know what he's talking about? Inbox me.
You had a wife. Let's say I was married to you. We together. You had your best friend, right? And y'all such good best friends that y'all live next door to each other. Your best friend turns up pregnant. He was like, yeah, girl, who the daddy? She's like, this is a one night stand. The daddy out of nowhere. This is like, he's out of the picture. We're gonna raise the baby together. You have 2 kids already, right?
Right.
By me, and you're like, they in similar age. Let's just raise them together.
Oh Jesus!
So let's raise them together. It turns out years later that little boy y'all raising together is their brother.
Their brother.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So to me,
that's kind of
that's dirt goblin. Yeah, I ain't did nothing like that. So I was like, wait, how y'all get
y'all went too far fetched.
Yeah.
So like you stated that word narcissism has been overused, or misunderstood as well, in today's society. What makes you think that particular diagnosis came up to be like one of the mainstream ordeals?
Because I feel like it started coming up more and more often, just because of how things went, right? Because of how the world was looking for an explanation as to why so many people behaved in a certain way, and they just didn't have a word for it. You know, it was just like my partner, my spouse be cheating, they be doing this, they be gaslighting, they be manipulating, they don't have any empathy, and all those, you know, are different traits and whatever. And the word narcissist just combines all of them combines all of those traits together in like a pretty package. It's just like, instead of just saying all of that, you can say narcissist, and you can get the same, you can achieve the same goal and whatnot. So I feel like once it became mainstream, because I don't know the first case. You know, it sounds like like an outbreak or something. I don't know the first case when it became mainstream, but like it's been pretty prevalent now, because even when I got into like the I guess the sphere of narcissism and, you know, narcissistic abuse and whatnot, I didn't even know narcissistic abuse was a thing. You know, it's a term that everybody uses. I'm like, when I started my platform, it was designed so men like myself would understand it's just, hey, look, if you feel this way, go get help. You know, I have this personality disorder. I'm working on it. You can go get help too. Don't feel weird. Don't feel out of place. Don't let the stigma or whatever of therapy just stop you. Go get help.
Right.
And women start asking questions. They're like, wait, you talk like my husband. Why would you do this? And I started responding to those comments. And other people would see my response. It's like, that sounds like my partner. And that's where it kind of started, you know, kind of like the snowball effect right there from it. And because I had no idea it was that big. I literally just was on there trying to just share my journey.
Right.
Just to share my journey. And I had no idea that so many people were going through that. But I think social media, I think narcissists have always been around. But I think that social media has shined like a bright light on it. You know, it's been in the darkness, and you can hear the noise. It's kind of like, you know, you hear the noise under the bed. Like, what the hell is that?
Right.
You know, you get my phone, turn it on, you shine the phone light under the bed, and you say, oh, it's a narcissist. You see what I'm saying? You know, it's a narcissist under the bed. Yeah, exactly. It's a boogeyman under the bed. So that's the type of stuff that happens. It just shined a brighter light on it, and whatnot. But like, if it's overused, it's probably overused. But like, to me, it still helps people. It still gives people like an explanation as to what they went through. Because so many people, I think, have this image of this long-term love. Like, they have the grandparents that have been together for 60 years.
Right.
But the grandparents hate each other.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, grandma and grandpa been together for 60 years. And they ain't sleeping. They got separate beds, and you know what I mean? They ain't talked in 20. You know, they just they still together. Grandpa been cheating. He got a family across the street. He got kids in Germany when he was in the army. It's like, people didn't have an explanation for that. Because I talked to so many people that are in their 50s, 60s, and 70s that are just now waking up to what they went through.
Right.
You know, I've been married 43 years. I had no idea what was going on until I saw a video, and and it just kind of woke me up. So imagine kind of feeling like you were asleep for 40 years, and then you wake up and you understand what you've been through. That's traumatic. It's a traumatic experience.
Right.
And it's kind of crazy. I've talked to kids before too, like doing my coaching stuff, but most of the people are adults, and a lot of them, like I said, are in their 50s and 60s. And I'm like, dang.
It's tough.
It's super tough. Like, yeah, it's super tough and whatnot.
So, like, what is the pros to being a narcissist?
If I had the pros,
it has to be like.
If I had to flip it on his head, I would just say my ability to disconnect from certain situations, I can flip it to a positive. You see what I'm saying? Like, for me, when I'm doing my coaching calls and there are people that are calling me and they're just boohoo crying, right. I don't connect to it like that because, you know, my lack of empathy kicks in. I'm just like, I don't connect to it like that. But I understand why they're crying. I get it, you know what I mean? But I just don't connect to it because if I connected to it, I might be crying too. It might throw me off of what I'm trying to understand and things like that. It might throw me off. So I feel like, if anything, if you can just learn how to situationally disconnect from certain situations, it could be a positive and whatnot. You can be super ambitious as well, man. I feel like having the personality disorder, having a narcissist, wanting the best of everything or whatever, can help you be more ambitious, can help you lead a better life. But you want to do it for the right reasons, because a lot of narcissists, right, they want to be super successful. They want to have the money, the fame, all this other stuff. But they do it because they think it's going to make them happy. You know, I call it the pursuit of happiness. They chase all this stuff because, like, when I get that, I'm going to be happy. But when you get it and you're not happy, that's Tony Robbins said, when you success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. So when you get that success, you're not fulfilled, you lash out at the people around you. You know, you can be, you see a whole bunch of rich, famous narcissists. They be ruining their lives, ruining their relationships. Like, damn, you in a happy relationship? What are you doing? I'm bored. You know, I done got to the top of the mountain, and like there's no more climbing.
No more climbing.
There's no more climbing. Like, damn, I'm at the highest peak. What else can I do? You get bored and you start lashing out. You start getting angry at the people around you and whatnot. And you start ruining your reputation, ruining your life, and just doing whatever in that situation.
It's gonna hit home to a lot of people. A lot of people. So what are the cons?
The cons are the cons could be the same thing as a pro. Like the ability to disconnect can ruin your relationships. Because like if you disconnect from the wrong people, like your partners, your kids, or whatever, it can ruin your relationship. It can make you grow old alone. You know, there's nothing wrong growing old alone if you so choose. But certain people who want people around them, if they rub their kids and their husband or wife the wrong way for decades, and then you on hospice, you're like, I ain't talked to my son in 10 years. Let me give him a call. And you know, you're sorry, your number done changed, you blocked. It can backfire on you. So that disconnect, if you don't learn how to reconnect or just, you know, live a decent life, it can lead to your, you know, you don't want to be by yourself. That's the fear. I think that's the fear of most narcissists, right? Is being alone, even though it sounds counterproductive because a lot of narcissists out here cheating and moving on and creating multiple families and stuff like that. They still don't want to be by themselves. You know, they still want somebody, that physical presence around them and have somebody around them, even if they're treating them badly. It's kind of crazy how that works. But they push so many, the way I describe it, they push people away, but they grab them by the collar, so you can't really get away. I can keep you at arm's length, but I got you by the collar, so you can't really fully get away from me. And that's the way it goes. So you can break up with them, and years later, they're still trying to be a part of your life. They're still trying to get some type of access to you, even if they've moved on and got a whole new family, whole new husband, wife, kids, everything. They still bothering you. Like, man, leave me alone. What what you doing?
Thought she was okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Thought it was all good over there at that brown grass. So what are some moments like when you're talking with individuals who are going through a relationship that is dealing with narcissism? Like, say for instance, okay, so I caught one of your lives. I caught a couple of them. Might be watching, but so and it made me laugh. Okay, it's not wrong or right in my eyes. I thought you was right, but the young lady says, "Well, my boyfriend and I'm pretty much she's got pregnant, and the guy's already in a relationship." And someone was like, so how far along are you?
I said that, yeah.
like, do you really want to be attached to somebody?
So it sounds, I know this is, the world is so polarized with it, right? When I say that, that's why I don't necessarily say the words. That's when people just like, I'm pregnant by my narcissistic ex.
Exercise your right.
I was like, first of all, what state are you in? It's they live to the States, right? But how far along are you? Because like, I know it sounds bad, and I'll joke about it, but like seriously, like, do you want to be attached to somebody like this for the rest of your life? It's not. I know people are like 18 years. No, it's the rest of your life. As long as that child is alive and living and thriving or whatever, and it's not 18 years. You still have to be connected to this person. Like that, your child is going to grow up and have kids. So imagine your grandkids grow up and it's like, are we going to go to grandma's or grandpa's house for Christmas or the holidays? You see what I'm saying? Like, you still have to do that battle is going to wage. You're going to wage that battle forever. And there's so many people that are waging that battle right now. They could have chose differently, and they be so angry at themselves. They love their kids. You know, they love their kids. You know, it's just like they looking at their kids like, ooh, I love you, but that text message I just got was rough. You know, it's just like these messages, and you know, trying to co-parent and they showing up late. They not showing up at all. They not fulfilling. The money's withheld. It just it can ruin your life. You know, I know, like I said, it really can. So I always ask people, just like, how far along are you? In, you know, what state are you in? Okay, what country? You know, where are you at? You know,
right?
Can you travel?
And you know, as a woman, you know, I laugh at it because everybody has their own experience.
Mm-hmm.
So unless you've either you are a narcissist or you've been with a narcissist or have a child by one, you would completely understand how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
And like I was speaking to someone earlier, and it has to hit home for you to fully understand and grasp the situation before you get to trying to have a spill on something. So if you haven't been through it or anything like that, just stay in your lane, and pray that it doesn't happen to you. But yeah, I thought that was like hilarious because they really the person does it on purpose just to keep you on that. What you say? Hold you by your collar.
Yeah. Yep. That's access to you for life. That's access to you for life. Like I said, people think it's 18 years, but like it is not. It's really not. If you think it's rough co-parenting, imagine co-grandparenting.
Oh man!
You know what I mean?
Look, nowadays the grandparents don't want to watch the kids anyway, so they be like, "Man, that's your problem. I told you about them before you even."
Yeah,
For real.
Baby, I can't help you out this weekend. You see what I'm saying? We trying to live too. That's why I tell people, because like some people, I saw somebody use the term pregnancy abuse the other day. I've never heard it before. I was like, you know what? That fits. I don't. If it fits correctly, but it's a good description, because some people will try to weaponize their pregnancy against you. Like, they try to get pregnant by you to trap you, or they try to get you pregnant on purpose. Are you about to break up with me for real? I know I told you 3 years ago I was gonna leave my wife, but we still battling through it right now. Just give me time. And now you got a baby on the way. And it's like, I got a baby on the way. Maybe this baby will make this person happy. No, it's not. It's just going to trap you there. It's going to keep you stuck in the situations. People I talk to that just start crying because they have to raise a baby with this person. I just wish they would go away. I thought narcissists would abandon their kids. Like, no, not all of them would abandon their kids. Some of them will just do just enough to bother you.
Yeah.
To make your life harder. Like you see what I'm saying? Like you have plans on a Saturday night. They get them every other weekend. Every other weekend pops up, and then you ready to go out. Like, okay, I gotta meet my baby daddy at 8:00. You get to the meeting point. Where are you at? The message turned green. It ain't blue no more. It's green. Like, they done blocked you.
Completely gone.
They're completely gone. You don't have a plan B, so all your whole plans and everything else is going to hell now.
Yeah.
So so many people are so sad right now for what they've been dealing with, and it sucks. Like I said, it sucks for so many people, and that's why I said, just in with the state of the United States right now in the political environment, there's a lot of toxic narcissistic men that are going to be voting against those rights just so they can trap you. Hey, are you pregnant? I'm pregnant. I don't know what to do. I'm like, I know what you're gonna do. Nothing. I'm gonna report your ass.
Oh yeah, now you're going to jail.
Yeah, now you're going to jail. Like, yeah, exactly. So I know I'm 2 weeks pregnant. I'm late. Thank you for sending it to me and putting it in
Screenshot.
Putting it in writing. You're mine now. You see?
Right.
That's how they're going to. A lot of people will be trapped nowadays, and I just feel like that's something people don't talk about. Like, a lot of abusive people are going to do that type of stuff. And not just men. There's narcissistic women out there who will try to get pregnant on purpose. It's like, no, I can't do anything. The law says it.
Right.
It's like they'll try to trap you up too. So just like, let's one more time for the road. I know it's over, and I've cheated on you 15 times. Just one more time for the road. You're on birth control, right? Of course. Of
course I am. Sure. So what's the most surprising reaction you've received from someone after they learned that you're a narcissist?
The most surprising reaction that I've received. I'm not. That's a good question. I'm not even sure. Like, I think most people, like, when they hear it, because they're so shocked because how I talk about it, I think a lot of people don't believe it. You know what I mean? They think I'm just trying to weaponize a mental health condition or whatever. Even though I'll show them my therapy stuff and take pictures outside my therapist's office and everything. It's just like they still don't believe it. I think so many people get into their minds that it's impossible to be self-aware of having a clinical diagnosis. And I tell them, I'm like, the diagnosis exists for a reason. It does. Like, if people we're not getting diagnosed, then where did it come from? You just can't come up with this out of nowhere. It's just like, I'm gonna make this diagnosis up and maybe someday somebody will get it. No, it's like people come in there and get diagnosed for whatever reason. Maybe they don't know what's going on. Maybe it's court ordered.
Oh, they court order that?
Oh, sometimes they can court order you to go to therapy. Yeah.
Well, tell me how to get court.
Yeah.
We want to know because
I mean,
we need to help some
It
folks.
really just depends on the severity of it. I've heard situations where, sometimes it's a lot of physical abuse involved, or there's drug or alcohol stuff going on. It's just they require you to take a psychiatric evaluation, or there's a pattern of behaviors that nobody can explain. It's like, or the partner just like, hey, look, I'll agree to this if you go get a psych eval. They put it in like the custody agreement, and they go to therapy. They angrily go to therapy. Like, look, I'll go to therapy. You go to therapy. Okay, fine.
Right. And then you too happy then. But yeah. The person can be too happy, like, man, I'm about to find out about myself.
Now I got you.
So, you say that there's not a cure for narcissism.
Yeah. So I say that there's not a cure for narcissism, but you get online and just like, Jesus can fix everything. And I just tell people, I just like, you know what that is inside of you, Lee? It's a demon. It's a demonic spirit you possess. I'm like, look, I'm a believer, right?
Yeah.
So in part of my journey, like when my wife left the second time, when I started going, when I started going to therapy for real and started my platform, I started reading the Bible. Right. I was completely lost. So I read the entire Bible from Genesis to Revelations. You know what I mean? All the way through. It took me about 6 months, but I read
Shout out to you.
Yeah, I read it all the way through. Cause I was like, I done read so many books. I done read everything. I was like, what am I doing wrong? Like, I had the Bible app on. I had it on Audible. I was like, okay. So I started listening to it like literally every single day. Even when she came back, you know what I mean? I kept reading it. I kept listening to it. Kept reading. And I ended up finishing it and whatnot. And I believe that, Jesus, God, they can work miracles, but you have to be working for the miracle. You can't just, faith without works is dead. Like, God ain't going to come pick you up off your couch. God, please take this personality disorder away. No, I'll take a nap. No. He ain't going to come pick you up. You got to get up and go get it. You got to put the work in, right? So I tell people just like, I believe God can work miracles, but you have to be working for that miracle. Like, there's no pill that you can take for personality disorder. For this one, there's no, I had to be in therapy. And I tell people I had to be in therapy for the rest of my life. People automatically assume that I got a bad therapist. Like, you got to get a new therapist. Like, why? I just like, y'all don't know how pervasive personality disorders work. It's in me. This is part of my personality. This is developed. This is not just something, it's not like a common cold or,
Right, like you can't just catch this.
Yeah. You can't catch it. Yeah. I cannot, you're not going to get it from me. You know what I mean? Just, I tell people just like, you have to work on it. You have to work to mitigate the symptoms and the signs and the traits or whatever. So there's no cure for it, but like therapy can help if you allow it to help. You have to go to therapy and trust your therapist. First of all, I trust my therapist. You have to be willing to be vulnerable, which vulnerability to narcissists is a weakness. They think if you're being vulnerable, that means you're being weak. So you have to kind of get past that barrier. And then you have to be open, honest, vulnerable, and trust your therapist. And all that type of stuff doesn't fit with most narcissists. And that's why I be like, therapy is not an easy thing. It's not just like signing up. You go lay on the couch and sit down and get your therapy. No, you got to still go to therapy and put the work in and talk about stuff that you never thought you would talk about. And therapy sometimes make you remember stuff that you forgot about. You're like, I did that. Damn. It's new stuff, And here's the thing about therapy too, is that you might have had childhood trauma to make you who you are, but the trauma doesn't just stop in your childhood. Like, you can have adult trauma too. Like, there's a lot of traumatized adults that are, have normal, healthy lives, and then something happens to them and now they're traumatized. So there's still things to work through in your adulthood that might have happened as well. So it's just always work to be done. And I don't look at therapy as like a sentence. I'm not sentenced like a life sentence of therapy. I just feel like this is something I'm willing to do. Right. If it's a sentence, I got the key. I can stop it at any time I want to.
Right. But
I want to. I get a good benefit from it. It helps me out so much to be, who I am and just being in this position I'm in right now to help so many people and just connect to so many people right now.
Right. So I know that I kind of, did the at you or whatnot, but do you think that people that are around and that are completely affected by a narcissist can pick up some of that behavior?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you can't, let's say, they refer to that as narcissistic fleas.
Oh.
It's just like, if you're in the general vicinity of a narcissistic person for an extended period of time, you can start to act like them. And a lot of times it's in defense. It's a defense mechanism that you develop to protect yourself against them. You know what I mean? You start lying. because they, you know, if you tell the truth to them, it's gonna be a huge argument, it's gonna be a huge fight and stuff like that, and it's not even a big lie. You just like, did you go to McDonald's? I told you I hate McDonald's. I hate, my last wife went to McDonald's and she cheated on me in the McDonald's parking lot. Did you go? You know, you put the McDonald's bag under the table like, no, I did not go. You know, so now you're lying. You see what I'm saying? Now you're lying now. So it's just like because you know you start to avoid stuff. You might start gaslighting. You might start acting like them, but like those things become temporary because like it's kind of like I call it taking a narcissistic flea bath. Like you, once you get clear of them, once you get clean of them, you start to stabilize. You know, you start to become who you are, and not become them. You're not always in self-defense mode, because when you start acting like them, it's because you're in self-defense mode. You're defending yourself against them and whatnot. So some people you can't pick up the traits, but it's not like a permanent thing unless you're in this permanent situation permanently. You know, and you can start. I talk to a lot of people who feel like they're the narcissist. You know, they start explaining what's going on. Like, damn, this kind of toxic. Like, what happened before? Yeah, my husband cheated on me and blamed me. He said I was gaslighting him about him being responsible for him cheating on me, and I just feel like I'm at fault now. What? Is that the first time? Like, no, this is like the fourth time I've caught him with somebody else.
Reflect that.
And I was like, yikes! I'm like, no, just let's break it down piece by piece, and they have to like kind of tear down this statue in their mind that they've built of themselves being toxic. And once they kind of break it down, they start to realize the foundation at the core is something that the other person did to them. And it's kind of crazy how it works sometimes.
Yeah, no, it is. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's super crazy. Like, you could look at something and say the sky is blue. We all know it's blue, but they'll say it's purple.
Yeah,
and they will say it's purple.
Purple is a shade of blue. Purple is not purple.
And there it go, y'all. There it goes, y'all.
It's a little blue.
It's just a little blue. So, what is the most misunderstood aspect of a narcissistic personality disorder?
So I feel like most people, when you hear narcissism or narcissistic personality disorder, you automatically think the person doesn't have the ability to care or love at all. You know, and I feel like for me, just talking to other narcissists and just my own life, I do have the ability to care. You know, I can care. I can love. And I've been working on that through therapy over the last few years, especially. But for those that are not in therapy, I feel like they do love and care to the maximum capacity that they know how to. You know, from their own childhood and their own experiences, they're giving you what they think is love. They're giving you what they think is them caring about you. And a lot of times, that's just physical. You know, it's just physical stuff. Here's a gift. You know, here's some hug. Here's this. It's not really an emotional connection, and you can feel it. If you're in a relationship with them, you can feel it. You can kind of feel it dwindling. You're like, what's going on here? You know, and you ask them something about, like, you still love me? Like, I'm here, aren't I? They'll tell you. They'll tell you that they're still here with you, which means to them that they love you. Like, if I wasn't here, that means I don't love you. They think physical presence is love, gifts are love, and things like that. It's just they don't know how to dig deeper on a deeper emotional level, a deeper emotional connection, because, like, you know, authentic true love requires a level of vulnerability that they're not willing to go to, because vulnerability means you can hurt me. If I'm vulnerable to you, you can hurt me. So I can't be I open up a little bit, you know, a little bit, not too much, you know, because the more I open up, the more you have the ability to hurt me, which is why a lot of times they rush to get you to do stuff with them, you know, and then they start to reveal their true colors once you hook. Like, wait, what was this 2 months ago? You know what I mean? When you start acting like this, and then now you hook. Now you're like, I know they have the potential to treat me better, so maybe I'll stick around and they'll start to treat me better again, and then it just kind of spirals from there.
Oh man, geez, that's deep. I'm sorry, y'all. Nah, but for real, one day maybe I'm gonna write a book. No, because it's like they'll be in your presence, and you can tell that they just content with just that, but be miserable.
Yep.
We just sitting there watching TV and just quiet the whole time, but still will show and prove, like, or show in their proof that they love you. So yeah, y'all make sure y'all paying attention. Y'all pen and paper. Y'all got a pen and paper. Write this down, okay? This ain't no joke. You don't know who you about to encounter or what you haven't paid attention to. Okay, now, should a person continue a relationship with the narcissist?
So I feel like that's on a it's a case by case basis because this is where people this is kind of where people they start to kind of get my platform confused because they see me still married and my family's still together and whatnot, so they automatically assume that that's a distinct possibility in their relationship. Like, well, you did it. Like I told you earlier, the story I told you earlier. Like, yeah. I wasn't doing that. You know,
Right.
I wasn't doing that. Like, now I've done some dirt, but I wasn't doing that type of stuff right there. You know, I didn't get that deep on the spectrum to where I'm just like people look at me like, oh, he's evil. You know what I mean? He's the evil bastard. We will never ever talk to him again. You know what I mean? I don't think there's anybody out there like that right now. I just feel like that's a case by case basis because there are, you know,
No. There are some still out there just like that.
yeah, yeah. No, for me, no, hate me. I gotta think. Let me think. That might be
Maybe a little bit.
that might be one, but she is also narcissistic
I'm
herself.
kidding.
No, for real. Like, she might think that, but she's also narcissistic herself. So we might be kind of feeling the same way about each other. It's the same wavelengths. We both shoot our little fireball at each other. There's one. That might be one. But I feel like people have to make the decisions on their own because, like, this is what I've discovered from talking to like the thousands of people that I've talked to over the last few years. Is like I can't tell you to leave. Nobody can tell you to leave. You have to make the decision on your own. Because if I tell you to leave, you feel like it's my decision. You feel like it's my choice. Well, Lee told me to leave, so I'm gonna leave. And then you start thinking, you start questioning me. Like, wait, he don't know me. He don't know him. He don't know her. And you go back into it, and you realize I was right. And it's just like, you know, it happens so many times. I feel like this is a decision you have to make because, you know, narcissism is on a spectrum, and not everybody's relationship is going to be as severe as other people's. You know, abuse is abuse, but there's varying levels of what people are going to take and what people can perceive. I feel like that's a decision you have to make. Are you happy with where you are? You know, and some people will say that they're not happy, but they won't leave because the Bible said you can't leave. You see what I'm saying? That's what the religion plays in the place. Like, well, the Bible, my religion won't let me leave because, you know, even though I'm sad as hell, I'm depressed. I'm about to, you know, try to take my own life. I have these dark thoughts. I can't leave. I was like, you know what? I read the whole Bible. I don't remember God saying, be unhappy in your marriage. Mm-hmm. You know, where's that at? That's not a commandment, you know. But people get that into their heads that the only excuse they have to leave is being cheated on or something like that. And people, even in those situations, because narcissistic people are smooth talkers, they will convince them that it's your fault you got cheated on. So now you have to take the blame and you can't even leave because you got cheated on. So are you happy with where you are? You know, are you content? Like, if you can have a crystal ball and look 5 years in the future and nothing in your relationship has changed, would you be happy with the decision that you stayed? You know, a lot of people will say no. You know, so many people tell me, oh, hell no. Nope. Nothing's changed. Nothing. Except for you. You've changed. Because you still have the ability to grow. It's kind of like you woke up. You're awake now. You understand. It's kind of like you had these shades on. You've been in this dark room the whole time. And it's like, you can see now, Lizzie. Mm-hmm. And this room ain't as big as I thought it was. It ain't clean here. You know what I'm saying? You start to see cobwebs. I was like, this ain't what I thought I was in. So once you wake up and, like, you know, you ever seen the movie The Matrix, right? Once you wake up in the Matrix, you cannot go back to sleep. It's hard to see this person for who you thought they were now that you know who they really are. So it's a decision you have to make. A lot of people do leave. Some people stay. Some people do leave, and some people go back. You know, I've talked to people who left, and they go back because kids are involved. They go back because of money. They go back because everybody's situation is going to be different. But it's the decision that you have to make on your own. I've talked to people in the depths. There's, you know, some people I've talked to, I was just like, ain't no way in the hell you got to leave. You know what I mean? This is like 2021. When I first started doing my coaching stuff. Now those people now are married to somebody else, happy. I'm like, that traveling the world, like, okay, I see you. You know, that's good on you. You know, I did a one-on-one one time with a woman. She had a black eye and handprints on her throat, and she was talking to me how to get back with him. He was in jail for doing it to her. And he's like, so when he gets out, like, how do I explain to him that it's not my fault? I didn't call the police. The neighbors heard me screaming, and I shouldn't have screamed so loud. And it was just, like, heartbreaking to hear that. You know, she told me the story. She was like, I cooked him some dinner, and he didn't like it. He threw the plate in the floor. I was like, you're ungrateful. And he just started beating on me and choking me. And, you know, I thought I was going to die. And then I was just praying to God, and he got up off me. And you know what? You know the first thing I did, Lee, when he got up off me? you ran out the door?
Right.
She was like, no, I sat in his lap and I thanked him for not killing me, because him not killing me proved to me that he loved me. I was like, oh, damn. I saw the body cam from that. The police came. He was at the door. He's like, hey, guys, what's going on? He was so happy and cheerful. What's going on? It's like, oh, we got a call. They said to hear the woman screaming and some stuff going on. He's like, no, not here. Oh, my wife, she was doing some stuff in here. You know how she gets. And she came around the corner. You can see her in the body cam come around the corner. She had a towel on. She had to went to take a shower to wipe the blood off of her. And the police officers, they seen her. You can kind of see their mood shift.
Yeah.
You can see his mood shift. He was like, get the hell out of here. He shut the door. And they tackled him. And then she come running around in the towel fighting the cops.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
Fighting the cops. She got arrested. They all got arrested. She's in the hospital, eye swole, handprints around her throat. And she's just like, does he know? Can you let him know I love him? Are you in contact with him? Can you please let him know I'm not going to press charges? What is his bail? I can get the bail money up to get him out of here. I thought she was done.
Yeah.
You know, she's married to somebody else now.
Oh, well, congratulations,
Yeah.
Lord. What took that? Like, you know, because people go through to that extent. So, have you ever had the chance to speak to her and ask her what made her leave?
I talked to her. I actually talk to her all the time, because me and her connected on a different level. Because I was like, I can't connect to this woman. She's like, I'm just such a caring person. I'm a Cancer.
Oh, I'm a Cancer too, yeah. So
was
don't
like,
make no face.
That's what I said, though. Me too. I was like,
Oh, you're a Cancer too?
yeah, I said.
What kind
I
of
said,
Cancer?
I said, I'm a Cancer too. I was like, I don't think that way. And she's like, well, maybe you're what is she
A
like? Maybe a
June
June Cancer.
Cancer?
I was like, actually, my birthday is in July. She was like, July what? I was like, July 14th. And she was like, and me and her had the same birthday.
Oh,
So we ended up
wow.
connecting on the birthday thing. And I'm telling you, her story it's so she had a psychopath. Like, her story was scary.
Okay.
But she ended up, I think me and her making that connection actually helped her break that tie, because he was doing some psycho stuff. Like, he had got out of jail. He was like he had a 50-foot restraining order. He knew her work schedule. He went to her house while she was at work, measured 50 feet, drew a radius.
Oh, Lord.
And was sitting outside of it. It was crazy. And she's like, and she pressed charges against him. And I remember her messaging me on TikTok. She's like, I gotta go do this statement. And she gave a statement, got him locked up for 1.5 years.
So she got free.
She got free. Guess what? She got married.
That's what
You know what I mean?
happened. That's how she got out.
Yeah. She ended up getting free. He went to jail. She got married to somebody else. You know what the man did when he got out of jail like 1.5 years in? You know the first thing he did when he got out of jail?
Try to reach her.
Yeah.
And what happened? Look.
Sent her an email and said, I know I'm the last person you want to hear from, but my mom died. I have nobody else to talk to. And her husband, good dude, is just like, you know what? He knows that you're such a good person that he knows that he can try again. In his mind, he's like, she's such a good person. He has nobody else. That's just proof that you're a good person. And she just blocked me. You know that's from. I was like, damn, good on him. Good on you.
Yes. So you can't get away.
You can't get away. No matter, she was in the depths. I was just like, and this is it's crazy. That's one of the very first calls I did. Like, this is in I started doing in April 2021. That's like the very beginning of May. I remember hearing, I was like, what? You know, I was just like, oh, this is real. And I was just like, and that right there, that story from that point forward changed my perspective on how deep it can get, and how no matter how much like they throwing dirt on you, you can still dig your way out. And she dug her way out, and she's doing good now. She's traveling, she's doing her own thing. You know what I mean? She's doing, you know.
No, shout out to her.
Shout out to her. Like I said, I've heard some crazy stories and stuff like that, and I don't think people can see that they can thrive after you get out of it, because so many people only, like, you know, it's kind of like climbing a mountain. You know how sometimes you're at the bottom of the mountain, you're looking up, you see all the fog, you can't see the top of it. Like, I'm scared to climb that. What if there's no top? You know,
Right.
You don't know till you start climbing. Sometimes you're forced to climb.
Yes. That's
Yeah.
a fact.
Yep.
How do you know when a narcissist is done with the relationship?
So that's that's one of those kind of nuanced questions right there, because sometimes they can be done because they never talk to you again, right? But sometimes they can also be done when they're talking to you just enough to kind of keep you interested in them. That can also mean that they're done with you. But I tell people, the end of the relationship is really up to you. Like, it's on you to end it, because most narcissistic people, right, they'll come back into your life in some way, shape, or form if you allow them to. You know, whatever role they can play to just kind of be in your orbit. It's kind of like if you are the Earth, they are the Moon. They're just orbiting you, pulling on you. You know, there's signs that they're pulling on you. You see the high tide and the low tide. You can't really see the moon all the time, but you can see the high tide and the low tide. You can feel their presence is still there. So they're, it's like emotional gravity. They're pulling on you, but you can feel it, and as long as they can pull on you, they'll keep doing it.
Cool.
So it's up to you to end it for good. It's up to you to just do the no contact thing or low contact if you got kids or whatever the situation may be. The final discard is really up to you. But a lot of times, like the narcissist does it, they try to leave you broken on the way out. They'll say the most evil, vitriolic stuff to you, the most hurtful stuff. They'll weaponize your trauma. Any type of deep, dark secret you told them, they say it on the way out the door. They try to leave you broken. That's how a lot of times they're done. But even after that, sometimes they'll try to circle back and just like, you made me say that to you. I wouldn't do anything like that. You did it. You made me say that. And the cycle will continue.
Oh gosh. I see. Okay, so you said that said that they can love, and that sometimes they think that people think that they are able to empathize, but can they like truly love someone? And what can show if they really do love somebody?
So like I was saying, I do believe that there are some narcissists that do have the ability to love you, but that has to be through actions, right? It can't just be, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you so much. Don't you know I love you? I love you. Like, those words don't really mean anything. They'll use those words in their presence to show that they love you. But what are their actions actually saying? Are they actually doing anything to make your life easier? Or if you're effectively communicating with them, are they reciprocating it? Are they listening to you? Are your feelings valid right now? Or is everything still the same? They just told you that they love you. They told you that they would work on it. They told you they would pray on it. They would go to church, whatever it is. It's just like, what are their actions saying? My actions say that I'm in therapy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I always been like, she can somehow, she found where we're at right now. She can walk in there like, hey babe, it's over. Would I be hurting and angry? Yeah. But would I still go to therapy? Yeah. Because it's for me. Like I said, the journey that I'm on right now, it is kind of a selfish healing journey, but me being selfish with my healing allows me to, just express. It allows me to get deeper within myself, to, help more people, to, help myself, help connect to my kids more. Because the struggle has been real, just not only with the wife, but it's also been with the struggle with my kids. Watching them grow up, just like I was telling you, like 16, 8, and 3, just like they're all at different stages. It's wild. I'm just like, it's a different space. But I just feel like, what are the actions saying? Because that's what the question a lot of people ask me. Like, do they love me? Do they care about me? How are they treating you?
Right.
How are they treating you? And a lot of people, when I answer that question with another question, they think I'm trying to be deceptive or try to avoid the question. No, because I can't tell you that because I don't know them. What are they doing? If you felt love, you wouldn't ask that question.
Right.
If you felt like you were being loved and treated correctly, that question wouldn't cross your mind. Oh, no, I know they love me. They're just doing this. I know they love me. They're just doing that. No, you're just like, do they love me? You're asking that question for a reason. What are their actions? I know they can tell you. I did a video response the other day. This dude, it was like a 54-second clip. He said, I love you like 23 times. I love you, baby. I love you. I love you so much. I love you. I love you. I'm going to come home. I love you. Just tell me where you are. I love you. Please don't leave me, baby. I love you. I love you so much. Don't you know I love you? You hear me saying this? You hear me? Do you feel me? You feel my love? I'm sending my love through the phone to you right now. Please, baby. Please, please. I'm right here, baby. I love you so much. I'm right here. And it's just like, who believes that? You see what I'm saying? You can say it and it sounds like the person is crying and they're expressing themselves. But in all actuality, is this genuine? Probably not. I just feel like they do have the ability to love you, but to their maximum capacity might not be to the quality or the quantity of what you actually deserve. If I tell people, like, they can say they love you and they can show you that they love you. Some of them will show you that they love you just by being there with you. I'm here, aren't I?
Right.
If I didn't love you, I would have left your born. They was talking drunk to you.
Yeah.
I'd have left you a long time ago, but I'm here, right? But you do get a lot of narcissists that are very good at compartmentalizing things as well. They think they can cheat on you, still love you too. You know what I'm saying? They're like, well, me cheating on you don't affect me. Me cheating on you actually made me love you more because I came back to you, right? What? But this is how some people think. This how I saw a video the other day that said that. That's how some of them rationalize their behaviors. They will say it like that and just like, well, me stepping outside actually makes our relationship better. But you also see a lot of red pill podcasts that say the same thing. You know,
That's right.
That's like a different level of narcissism. They're just like, men are just wired to cheat.
Right. It's inside of our DNA. That's what men do. They hunt.
Yeah, yeah. Like we
Look, I'm keeping it a bando with Lizzie Yayo. I do not agree.
I don't agree with that either because it don't make to me it don't make sense.
Right.
It just seems like a cop out. You know, because so many people get into that biological element of just like, you know, men are protectors or whatever. Like you are like, we not hunting. You know what I'm saying? But they consider it hunting. They make it seem like it's savagery and whatever. Just like sometimes when you out there hunting for the buffalo. You might see another cave and another woman out there in a cave. Like, you know, it's just so stupid. It's just like you hear some of that stuff. It's just like, just say you're a cheater.
Right. just be upfront. Give me a choice.
Yeah.
Do I want to deal with this or not? Don't sneak it up on me 6 months later, because your true self want to come out. That.
Just so you know, I know we're about to get married. Just so you know, I'm polyamorous. What?
When did this come about?
I've always felt this way. Just like I didn't know how to tell you.
Like what? When I met you, you talk about you believe in being with one person. You're monogamous. Now it's time to hit the sand, and now you talking about poly. Yeah. Which I don't have no issues with, people with the poly. I understand the tribe and trying to build a community, but not everybody wants to do that.
Yeah. They take away your autonomy when they do that. You know, right when you do the night before. I've heard of the night before the wedding. It's like, but they still get married. You know.
And now they locked in.
They're locked in.
And you done already said okay. Yeah. So now
why would you
got
marry me if you weren't
wives.
okay with it?
Right.
If you weren't okay with me doing this, why would you marry me? You told me the night before.
Right, nah.
My mom then flew from France and Mom, go home. You wasted $50,000.
Man, we about to go outside. You hear me? I know my mama coming from France. We outside because this dude tripping. Like, I don't know. Maybe he can find his people, but we ain't doing that. I don't know if he'll make it. He might go to France with him.
I've heard some crazy stuff, but that's the type of stuff that actually be happening though, for real. And I tell the people, I'm just like, it's a wild experience for so many people. But I've heard so many different stories, and they drop it on you at the last minute, or once they have you hooked. They don't tell you, they don't share this stuff with you in the beginning because they don't think you'll be down with it. Mm-hmm. They want to get you hooked first. They want to get you in love first, and then they want to drop it on you because they know if they drop it on you in a moment of high pressure, high tension, high stress,
it's gonna be hard.
Yeah, it'd be hard for you to say no. It's like, we put $100,000 in his wedding. You gonna tell me this tonight?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't know what better time to do it than before we got married, before we said I do.
Mm-hmm. Or I thought you loved me.
Yeah, oh, that's the best one.
I thought you loved me. If you love me, you'll be here for me.
Yeah. True struggle love is real. They want to teach you that the struggling and battling through this type of stuff is real. But if you keep forgiving them for doing the same thing, they will start looking at you like you pathetic. They'll start looking at you like you just like you a pushover. Like I don't. Mm-hmm. There's no fight here no more. Like I can just do what I want to do. There's no fight. I don't have to hide it. This is boring. And they'll leave you then. Like you done forgave them for everything, and then they'll leave you for forgiving him for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Not
like you weak.
Yeah, not being argumentative, not putting up a fight. They're like, damn, it's kind of boring. There's no fight here. All right, peace.
Right, or let me go get you some.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you smooth. How do you maintain your self-awareness without falling back into like real harmful patterns?
Oh, for me, that's what therapy comes into play at. But even without therapy, I think I'll still be okay because my therapist, like, she might retire one day. She might retire next week. She might get a new job. She might start a new practice doing something else. You just never know. So I don't fully just depend on therapy because honestly, most of the work that I do on myself is outside of therapy. Therapy is 1 hour, maybe 2 hours a month. That's not a lot of time if you look at the grand scheme of things, seeing that there's 24 hours in one day. If I'm doing a whole month, just 1 or 2 hours, that's not a large amount of time. Right. So most of the stuff I do outside of therapy, most of the work I do for myself is outside of therapy. Doing this, like the stuff that I learned in therapy, I'm just implementing into my real life. every single day. I feel like I have enough skills now that even if my therapist is like, you know what, this will be our last appointment. I'm doing something else. I'm like, open up a bar, whatever you want to do. You know, I would still be okay because I was like, I'm just doing too much work on myself. And I probably find another therapist eventually, but like, I just feel like I'm just doing too much on myself to just falter back into those patterns. Now, if I stop doing everything, yeah, it'd be pretty easy for me to just fall back on patterns. You know, I'm about to be 40 next year, so it'd be pretty easy for me to fall back on patterns that have served me for 40 years. You know, so it'd be easy to do that as opposed to keeping it up, keeping like staying on track and whatnot.
Right. What's one thing you wish more people understood about living with NPD?
Living with NPD. One thing I wish people understood about living with NPD. And this is not me trying to elicit sympathy for people. 'Cause I know people like. Let me preface this by saying, don't.
Oh, and I'm helping echo that. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah. Don't feel sorry for the person in your life because I say this. It's a tough thing to do because there's no peace. You know, even before therapy, I did not have peace in my life. You know, really, it was just like always chaotic thoughts. It was, you know, hard to go to sleep at night. It's hard to go out throughout the day because my thought process, my mind is always running on chaos. It's always running on worst case scenario. It's always running on bad things. It's not fueled by, you know, it's not clean fuel. You know, it's just running on bad stuff. So that's the toughest thing to dealing with it before and after. Just like being just aware of what's going on within your mind. It's just like trying to find peace, trying to find prosperity, trying to find contentment and things that make you happy escape you a lot. You know, it's just like it's a process. You know, I look back at my Facebook. I put a post on Facebook. This is before therapy. It's like at least 10 years, at least 12 years ago. It said, every day I wake up and battle my demons. Sometimes they win, sometimes I do. I was like, damn, looking back at that now, I was like, I was going to do something, man. I was like, you know, before I was aware of it, something was going on in my head. It's just like I knew I was in a battle every single day. So every single day is a different battle. You know, that's why when you're in a relationship with a narcissist or a toxic person, whatever, like there will be good days too. It's not always gonna be 100% bad because, and this is what I tell people, if it was 100% bad, you'd be easy for you to leave. It'd be easier for you to leave. You wouldn't have any good times to lean back on. You wouldn't have any positive memories to attach to this person. So it'd be easier for you to break free because there's no positivity attached to this person and whatnot. So for me, that would be right there.
Right. Excuse me. So what's your ultimate goal in sharing your story and your experiences with the world?
So my ultimate goal is to, you know, I know it sounds, it probably sounds narcissistic, but it's to change the world, honestly, in a positive way, to have a positive impact on the world. You know, it's just like you don't want to be the meteor that killed the dinosaurs and blew the world up. You know, you want to be the meteor that might have took down a bad mountain or some BS. You know what I mean? Or the meteor that knocks another meteor off, of course.
Right.
But I want to just
savior.
have, yeah, I want to have a positive impact on the world. To the fact it's just like, hey, you changed my life. I started seeing myself in your videos, and I want to get help, and I'm living a better life. I've had those messages. You know, most of the messages I get from people is just like, you changed my life, and you woke me up to what I was going through. I had no idea until I was just on YouTube. I wasn't even searching for narcissism. I just, you know, one of those skits came across there, and I was like, wait, what's this? And I watched one of your skits, and it just woke me up, and I started going down the rabbit hole, and I woke up. So I just want to have a positive impact on people, like, for real. I think people, there's some people who be on the live, they're like, oh, my husband's in the room. I got him listening to this, and he hates you.
Oh yeah. Turn that off. That's the reason why.
You know that man that's pandering, he just want to sleep with you, right? What? But that's what they say. But like, I want to have a positive, because people see me as the harbinger of breakups and breaking families up. No. I want to be the harbinger of people just understanding that you could have a traumatic past, and that could be affecting the way that you're living right now. That could be affecting your current family dynamic. You're bringing your past wounds into your present relationship, and you're wounding other people with them. You know, you're bringing your old scars here, and you're scarring everybody else. Like, you know, the Lion King, the Scar had a scar. Mm-hmm. You're leaving marks on every one of your family members. So now it becomes like it's part of the family dynamic. You're passing it down, you know. I want to help people end generational curses as opposed to, keeping them going.
Oh, I love that. Thank you. Thank you. What advice do you give a person that is dealing with narcissists?
Dealing with narcissism or dealing with a narcissist in general?
Dealing with narcissism.
Oh, like myself?
Yeah.
Oh, go get help. It's cool. Like getting help is cool. I just promise. Like people won't look down on you for going to get help. I promise you. Like if you feel like you have something going on mentally, emotionally, where you feel like you're disconnected from so many people, you have trouble connecting to people, go get help. Because I promise you, there's no shame in. I used to think I'm gonna be so shamed for it. People gonna embarrass me. And people gonna think I'm crazy. No, it's the exact opposite. People just, I have millions of people follow me online now for it. So it's just like people look at me just like I thought people in my real life was just looking at me kind of weird. They're like, man, I saw your profile, man. Hey, I need to go get some help too. Man. I mean, people say that to me in real life. Like, man, be for real, man. I was watching your video. I was like, man, it sounded like me a little bit. I need to go get some help. Like, go to here, you in Greensboro? Here, this is my therapist. Go. I mean, she might not be taking other clients, but you can go see. You can go try. Just go get some help. Because I just want people to just feel like you are not alone in the world. And that's how I used to feel when I first got diagnosed. Because, they say 0.5 or 1% of the population. It seems like such a small number. But I feel like you can, once you get diagnosed with it or whatever, if you don't get diagnosed with it, find out what's going on. I feel like understanding what's going on in your mind can help explain so much. Because even if I wouldn't got diagnosed with NPD, I feel like they would have said something. It still would have helped me out to understand what was going on in my mind. Right. Take a psyche eval. Whatever diagnosis it comes back as, like you can work on it. Even though there might not be a cure, that doesn't mean there's no work that can be done. And I've been doing this for, like I said, it'd be October the 17th be like entering year 8, so it'd be 8 years. Goodness.
Oh, why you say it like that?
It seemed like a long time. I was like, goodness gracious. I remember when I first started my videos. I've been in therapy for 2.5 years, 3 years. It seemed like I've been doing videos for such a long time now. Because there are people who follow me. I've been following you since 2020. I've been following you for about 4 years. It's like, it's been 4 years.
Time go by fast. Jeez.
I done had a baby. My son had been in high school. I was like, what in the world is going on? I was like, time do be flying by,
What advice do you give someone who is deep down or knows deep down to or has even like, okay, my question, how I'm going to put it? Because I'm trying to put it where they know that they have narcissism, but they don't want to really believe they have narcissism.
So for me right there, I just feel like, what's the fear of, there's an irrational fear right there. Because if you think something's going on, like if you got a lump growing on your side of your neck, you're like, this is just a pimple, and then that lump get to the point where you can't even close your neck now. Like, oh, is this just one? It's like, act it head on becomes worse because it can get worse. Trust me. Helps you out so much. You know what I mean? Just like, I promise you, your partner, your people around you, they will love you more for it. As opposed to anything perfect this is going on, that nothing in your life is your fault. That's irrational as hell. It's just like once you start to understand that vulnerability is not a weakness, it's actually a strength. And when you kind of reframe that, you can go so far in life. It can help empower you so much. Like, cause that's how I used to like, man, the more vulnerable you are, the more weak you are. But now I'm just like, the more vulnerable I am, the more people I help, the more people it reaches. I'm just like, yeah, I like this vulnerability thing,
Right.
Has there been people who try to use my vulnerability against me since I got started on this? Yeah. But once they reveal themselves in their true character, those people can be cut out. I've had to cut out some of my best friends that were only started this journey with me. They're no longer a part of my journey, no longer a part of my life because they did some craziness. But they try to use my stuff against me.
So like pretty much coming to you with something you already know.
No, he tried because I know most of my platform is like, depending on what site it's on, it's 85 to 90% women, right? So there's millions of women that follow me, and I got people in my life, like some of my old friends, that will try to take advantage of it. Because most of the women who follow me, they're not, they're going through something.
Right.
They're in a vulnerable state, so I'm very defensive on my platform. I'm not sleeping with these people. Leave them alone. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And
Like, dude, you got the gold,
Yeah.
bruh. Pass me over some.
yeah, you got all the girls like, man, I was going through your follower list, man. There's some baddies in there. Like,
Right.
there's some hurt baddies.
That's right.
Leave them alone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you come
Yeah.
trying to be more damaged.
Yeah, going and messaging people saying craziness. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, one of my old dudes, he messaged this one girl. I actually met her. I do workshops in person, right? I actually met her at a couple of workshops. I met her kids and everything. I didn't talk to her, do one-on-ones with her. I know she's broken.
Right.
You know? He decided to pick her. I do. I found out. I was like, wait, no, leave her alone. Leave her alone. I told her to leave him alone, and they wouldn't listen to me. So I was like, I'm gonna just cut both of y'all out.
Right.
And the girl was like, no, this is what you seen to you. And this was one of my best friends last year. So I was like, I just man, I was like, I ain't want to read them. I ain't want to read. Okay, I read them. And she was like, why? She said, why doesn't Lee want us talking? Instead of just knowing what I told him. You're hurt. You're damaged. You get some. You know, you've been through some stuff. You're a victim of domestic violence and abuse. Instead of saying that, you know what this man said? Goodness gracious.
Oh.
No, he said, maybe he's cheating on his wife, and he sees you giving me all the attention, and he wants you.
Oh, yeah, it's a cutoff. Yeah. Because how dare you?
I said, what?
I feel you.
And the fact that I not doing that is annoying because he knows me. People know that he knows me. If she gets angry and puts that out there, like, oh, he's cheating on his wife and did it.
Right.
What did you get? Who's the source? The source is one of his best friends.
Right.
Even if it's true, even if my part is true, I got to defend that now. It's like,
It's too much energy, too much to put in.
you trying to ruin my life for what?
Right.
For
That,
what?
Hating.
It really is. He was a narcissist.
Hate. Oh, he's a narcissist.
Oh yeah, no,
Oh, yeah, he knew what he was
definitely
doing.
No, he definitely knew what he was doing. Cause you don't say nothing like that. I showed him all. We make jokes about it now.
Right.
But it's just like I had to show it to her because like if you get back to her, I was like,
Exactly. Let me show you.
I was like, what this man said.
Yeah.
She was shocked. She was like, wow. Maybe he's cheating on his wife.
Right.
And
Do
he
use the
see
low blow.
you giving me the attention, and he wants you instead. I was like, what?
Yeah, and you know what? That's important to know, like for people to know, especially when you're doing positive things. You're gonna have people that is around you that you've known for so many years that you like honestly think they care about you and they're there for you,
Yep.
but they really just trying to like ease up on what you got going on. It doesn't matter if it's gonna break down your empire. They don't care about none of that.
Nope.
And they're going to use the fact that they're so close to you because now people are going to believe me. I actually had something like that happen earlier yesterday. Yesterday.
That's super fresh.
You're super duper fresh. And it's involving a community. I'm doing community unity, like I was telling you the other day.
Yeah.
Community unity. Everybody come out. Let's stop with domestic violence. Guns down. Shout out to Guns Down, Drums Up, and the Doctory family, and everyone that did come out to show support. Shook Diddy on the video, DJ Godfather on the ones and twos. You know, I'm getting all the shout outs that I can remember, so y'all don't hold it against me. But yeah, I had someone that I had already started the platform. I just let God use me, and because I want everybody to come together. I've dealt with loss, you know what I'm saying? So it's like being damaged, and here go that narcissist, but that kind of sound, that's another story. So, but so I'm a bit, grieving still, but wanting to put it together where it's everybody in one room, no matter what it is that you're going through in the community, whether it's a mental illness or whether it's your family dealing with someone that got shot or whatever the case. So I'm trying to bring all that together. Got the kids playing outside on splash pad. And I let a young lady in. She was assistant. Hey, maybe you should try this. Well, that's a good idea, But I look at things different. I don't have to be the face of it. I just want it to happen.
Yeah.
Some people want the face on it, like, oh, well, make sure you say. So I do that in a little group chat, let everybody know, hey, this person, thank you so much. You know what I'm saying? Because some people like their ego stroke. I'm not a good ego stroker, but whatever. And so next thing you know, they're out the group chat. I'm like, you know what? I ain't got time. I don't even care.
Yeah.
I don't even care because that's part of the community violence in my eyes, because now you're taking me away from the vision that is needed to, you know what I'm saying, be put in place. And so anyway, I got a call. Hey, did you see that message? It was subliminal because they know better than to tag me. Okay. But it was subliminal, and it was pretty much saying that they wasn't getting the proper, but there's like, we had 15 other people and more that is there that had put their great support into making it great. So, yeah. So I feel you. I feel you when it comes down to, hey, well, that person was right there next to her. And so that has to be true.
Yep.
You know, and it's like, man, we trying to do positive things. We trying to change the world. You know what I'm saying? Because narcissism isn't just in one place. It's not just in North Carolina.
No.
Okay? It's not just in Cali. It's everywhere.
It's worldwide.
Worldwide. Just like domestic violence is worldwide. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna have to hit you up and have you come out one time to speak.
Oh, yeah. We can set it up.
So we locked in.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, I just wanted, you know what I'm saying? And plus, I enjoy everything that you're putting out there. You know,
I appreciate it.
I appreciate you, because like how you were saying that some people was in the house and they got their significant other, and so, you know, you put it on YouTube and you put it so the surround sound could play. Or is that just me? No.
That's what be happening. It's just like, he's running around the house angry right now because he hears your voice. Like, oh, it's him again, huh?
But for real though, because it's like, you don't do it to mimic or to hurt the person. You're like begging and pleading, like, please understand that you're not alone.
Yeah.
Like, that's just a way. Maybe some people do it to be targeting, but I know for me, it was more so like, look, that it's okay that you have this going on. Get help. Mm-hmm. Because if you're not listening to me, and because you think I'm coming at you, maybe this person can, you know. The
messenger. It's not even the message. The message is correct. It's the messenger. They don't want to hear it from you. Mm-hmm. But then you see different messengers, they don't want to hear the message at all. It's just like, hey, you know what? It ain't me. You just don't want to hear it, you know? So sometimes it can just help wake you up in those spaces. I had a woman that messaged me a few years ago. She was like, my husband left his phone behind, and I just got on TikTok and I looked you up and started scrolling through your videos and some other people's videos, just so, you know, I deleted the search just so it pops up in his algorithm.
Oh, well, that's sweet. Look, I'm over here owing it.
I was like, it'd be so sad to hear stuff like that, because you just want to help. You just want to help the person, but they have to want to be helped. You know, they have to get to the point where they want to be helped. And that requires a level of vulnerability that not a lot of people are willing to just dig deeper within right there. And that sucks right there.
Ain't no other way. Ain't no way.
That court ordered, but
okay, court ordered.
When a court order you, you're forced to do it. You're just like, when court order you do it, you're just doing it just to be doing it. You know, it's kind of like, I'm just getting my hours in. You know, I'm just here.
And then they still don't have to tell you that they've been diagnosed with it.
No, they don't have to tell you, because it's a personal thing.
Yeah.
You know, unless somehow it's in the court order that any type of diagnosis is, you know, that record is being able to be sure. Like HIPAA is kind of overlooked here in this situation. Like, you can share your diagnosis with the audience or whatever, you know, share it with the team. Right. Other than that, no, they don't have to tell you anything. Well, I didn't get diagnosed with anything. Oh, yeah. Diagnosis of everything. You know, it's just like, nope, clean bill of health. They said they need to see you. There's something wrong with you. So they could be lying. Yeah. Something's wrong with you. That's what they say.
That's what they
say. Like, you know, I got a clean bill of mental health. They say I was the best patient they ever had.
I'm a superstar.
Why am I here?
So how can people find you for help?
You can find me everywhere online and on YouTube. You can just search Lee Hammock, or you can find me everywhere. Like my handle is mental healness. Like mental instead of ill is heal. HEALNESS. That's why I came up with it. At. Just like, oh, it's not the mental illness. I'm trying to heal. So mental illness. So that's where it came from. So mental illness everywhere on all platforms.
All right. Mental illness.
Illness, yeah.
Excuse me. Mental illness on all platforms. And you guys, you are not going to be non-entertained, if that's the word, because I couldn't think about it, because he got a whole bunch of reels. There's one of my favorites is when you were working out outside. Let me jump over.
Ready with me as I train for the Toxic Narcissistic Olympics. This year, we're going for the gold in 4 games full of lies, deceit, manipulation, and of course, cheating. If you want to be the best, you got to cheat the best. The first game is called the 100-meter dash out of your kids' lives. This game used to be called going to the store for a pack of smokes. The faster you go, the less likely your kids are to find you. Outrunning the child support, the alimony, and the guilt and shame of being a completely deadbeat-ass parent. The next event is called hurdling the accusation. You have to get over the hurdles as fast as you can to avoid accountability. No, I don't know whose number it is. I was at court. She's just a friend. Why are you so insecure? Your insecurities are really going to kill us. The next event is called Fighting My Demons. Here, you want to keep your feet loose and your core tight. You really want to be able to beat the allegations to deflect the blame to other people. Don't be afraid to go low. Low blow, low blow, low blow. I know I said I wouldn't bring that up, but here's another low blow. You made me say that. You must never really love me. You don't give a damn about me, do you? This last exercise is called Balancing Multiple Supplies. I almost got caught up like a rookie in the beginning. Focus on your lies. Focus on your technique. Focus on blaming other people. Focus on keeping a secret. Focus on telling them that you'll never do it again. And then finally, dismount into your new relationship. See you later.
Let me jump over your feelings or something. Like, it was dope. It was dope. I was like, who creates this? Who comes up with this?
I was just outside doing the workout. I was just like, wait, I'm jumping over your feelings, huh? Yeah, it's just all it started. The wheels started turning. Then
y'all make sure y'all go and I'm gonna actually share it on my platform just so that y'all could be like, oh, that's what she's talking about. Yeah, because like, yeah, it be like that. But I appreciate everyone. I appreciate you, Mr. Hammond, for coming out and taking your time, because I definitely asked all the questions I wanted to, because I was like, ooh, I got him in my grasp. I got him, y'all. Lee Hammond right here. Amazing individual that is spreading awareness to narcissistic illnesses. Can't even get it out. Illnesses, man. But for real, I appreciate you guys. Is there anything else that you would like to add?
Just, I just want everybody to live the life that they deserve to live. Just like sometimes your happiness might not be with the person that you're with, and sometimes it might be. I just feel like that's something you have to kind of, use discernment. And if you're out there fresh in the dating world, trust your intuition. Just please, don't ignore the red flags. Early on, go read the book. I just read a book called Attached. It's by Amir Levine. Amazing, the book about attachment theory. It can help you out too, because narcissistic people tend to have an avoidant attachment. It's just I feel like they can help you spot narcissistic people faster.
What's the name of that book one more time?
Attached.
Attached.
Yeah, by Amir Levine.
Levine.
Yeah, I just finished reading it yesterday. I was like, I might need to read this one again.
Okay.
Because sometimes you go back through the second read, you start picking up on stuff you didn't hear the first time, or stuff you didn't see the first time. It's an amazing book.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. And when will your book be ready?
I'm writing it now. I just some couple setbacks, but I'm hammering away at it right now.
Okay. Well, we're definitely waiting until you get it out there. We're going to be watching and learning. And do you have anything coming up?
I have a couple in-person workshops coming up here pretty soon. I think we're going to be in Toronto, Canada in November, December. But we're definitely doing Houston and Dallas, Texas. Well, Dallas and Houston, Texas on November the 2nd and November the 3rd. In-person workshop type stuff. We have some stuff coming up here pretty soon. You can find everything at mentalhealness.net. You can find everything on there.
All right. Well, that's it, you guys. It's your girl, Lizzie Yayo. Forever keeping it a bando with Lee Hammond. We outside 26 and